Surprise, surprise, everyone. Clay Entertainment has gone and announced the Wendy character update, and it is coming but next week. Said no one ever, because this is not a surprise. We've known this has been coming for quite some time, and we predicted it months ago at this point, even before anything was teased about it. However, we finally have confirmation, and we have information on paper. So I thought today we would just sit down, have a little talk about it. Something a little different. Not a guide, not some other video. Just something different. Why not? So let's read this little update, shall we? Wendy clutches tightly to the memory of her twin sister Abigail, and on some days, it's almost as if she never left. Even from the afterlife, Abigail never stopped looking out for Wendy, and now Wendy has discovered how to return the favor. Her affinity with the supernatural has led her to the mysterious practice of ectoherbology, allowing her to create haunting elixirs to aid her sister beyond the veil and make her bond stronger than ever. Listen, it's not that much of a stretch, but people are still missing something here. They see the bullet points that come after this, and they don't really make the connection to what this ectoherbology thing is. It's her own crafting tab. It's gonna be her own crafting tab that's going to allow us to make, as I said, elixirs to either help Wendy or Abigail or both in some capacity, be it maybe damage boost, speed boost, sanity things, who knows, range, I don't know, but ectoherbology, interesting. Very interesting. However, here are the other details that they gave to us. Wendy carries a flower that can summon her sister Abigail's spirit. Oh, you don't say, do ya? Abigail's spirit gets stronger over time, but starts over if she is destroyed. Interesting. Quite interesting. Because that incentivizes people to keep Abigail obviously longer, but also get her as soon as possible. My concern is, we already have a timer to spawn Abigail that can be kind of long, and then we got this other potential, well, it is going to be a timer on how much her strength grows. How long is that going to be? We don't know. We don't know. It might be a lot of waiting, right? Might be a lot of waiting. Abigail's might is tied to Wendy's health, making her fight harder while Wendy is weak. Oh, I don't know about that one, Clay. I don't know. I like the idea, but I wouldn't have picked health. People were suggesting sanity. The lower her sanity was, the better Abigail would be. I don't know. I kind of like that. We got to give more to sanity. There's got to be more to sanity, man. But just making it health is just okay. So now it's almost sounding like Wendy's going to be a glass cannon summoner, which I do enjoy. But yeah, I just would not have made it health. Other than that, we'll see how it goes. Like, if it's exponential growth, like if we're at 1 health the whole time, is Abigail just an absolute beast? I don't know. Or is there a cap? We'll find out. Wendy can ask Abigail to stay close to her or roam more free via Abigail's flower. Perfect. People were saying, hey, give us controllable Abigail. This is about as good as I was hoping it would be. I wasn't really looking like, hey, you go there, hey, you go there. This is good, this is good. If it works how I think it might work, like if we click on the option to have her stay close to us, maybe she won't just aggro on everything imaginable, right? That's sometimes what is wrong with Abby. She just goes after everything. So if we can keep her close by and she won't attack things unless we attack, I like that. I like that. And the roam free thing is probably just going to be exactly what she does now. So, yep, I think that's a good change. Wendy does not lose sanity due to ghosts, which, okay, that's just going to add an extra layer to her connection to death, I guess. So that makes sense. But it goes beyond, too. Pip spooks can now be found roaming around gravestones. Okay, sure, we'll talk about those in a second, but she can commune with these things to help them find peace in exchange for morning glory, which, okay, we'll talk about that again too. And then she can also use said morning glory in her ectoherbology crafting tab to help her sister's spirit in various ways. All right then. This is the biggest change here. This is the biggest change. But here's the thing about this Wendy rework that's going on. It sounds like, at least on paper, that it's still Wendy, right? It's almost like a Willow-esque rework and not like a Winona one or like a Woody one. You know what I mean? Though two very different types of reworks there. One keeps the character's base, adds a couple things that just make sense, to add layers that are relevant, while other ones just literally rework the entire character pretty much. So this is what it's sounding like. Unless, of course, these pip spooks go beyond something else? Like, is it only Wendy that's going to be able to see these? She's obviously going to be the only one that communes with them. But yeah, are these just like new mobs? We can see what they look like. We can see what they look like. You want to look on, they're right there. You can see it in the image. You can see it in the thumbnail. You can see it in this little teaser image. Pipspooks. They just look like tiny ghosts. So yeah, interesting. And also, why did you have to call it Morning Glory? But that's a whole thing. Yeah, so this stuff is going to be going into these herbs that we craft to make Abigail better. Also, yeah. At the beginning, I was thinking maybe it's going to help Wendy too, but no, it sounds like all these ectoherbology things are only for Abigail. Okay. All right, I can get behind that. Don't know what it's going to do. You know, speed, damage, blah, blah, blah. But speaking of damage here, as we know, Wendy has reduced damage in combat. I'm guessing they're keeping that the same. And suffers less sanity drain from auras, negative sanity auras, that is, and the dark. Yep, all the same. But this last one is kind of what people were asking for, but we're not sure how it's going to work yet. Abigail's damage is affected by the number of enemies she is fighting, allowing her to be effective against a single enemy, but at her best when fighting a crowd. Okay, here's how I interpret this. Sounds exactly as she is right now. They probably just upped her base damage from what it used to be, right? Abigail would always get stronger come how dark it was, right? Dusk, more damage. Totally night, more damage. That's why she was so good in the caves. But if they've just kind of increased that baseline to what? Maybe they've increased it to the level of the caves on a single enemy, but then more enemies, she's going to be better. Yeah, this is so vague to the point of like, it's either a really good thing, a really powerful thing, or like just a thing. I don't know. We don't know. At the end of the day, we don't know. It sounds like what people were wanting, this little scaling of damage depending on what's going on. But I think people wanted it the other way, right? I think people wanted it that she was maybe a little better at fighting some bigger bads, not just multiple bads. Keep that at the base. You know, the multiple bads thing should be a baseline. The harder the enemy, the more damage you should do. And of course, there should be a cap. I don't know. Let me know what you think. But folks, there we go. That was just the little discussion of the Wendy rework coming very, very soon, Thursday. And of course, when it comes out, expect a video on it as soon as possible. It sounds good. Honestly, it sounds good. It sounds like it's Wendy with just a couple extra things, you know? So it's probably not going to be super extravagant, but hopefully it gets people to start playing Wendy. Because I've always liked Wendy. She was just one of those that fortunately didn't really have too much to them, so she kind of got left in the dust a little bit. Hopefully these new mechanics, this new crafting tab, maybe even just Abigail's changes, get people to look at a summoner character in this game. Because apart from a witch, a good summoner character is what I've been wanting for a long time. And she might be it. A glass cannon summoner that can make things very interesting with their own unique crafts. Sounds great. But let me know. Let's discuss down below. And I'll see you next week for the actual update. Bye-bye.